If walking alone really worked for fat loss forever, most people wouldn't feel stuck right now. They wouldn't be frustrated, confused, or wondering why the scale stopped moving even though they're walking every single day. And yet, that's exactly where so many people end up. They're walking more. They're trying harder. They're doing what they were told was healthy. But their body just isn't changing anymore. Today, we're going to talk about why walking alone stops working for fat loss, what's really happening inside your body when that happens, and exactly how to fix it, without giving up walking. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I post new shred fat videos every week to help you burn fat faster, eat smarter, and transform your body without starving yourself. All right, let's get into it. Why walking works at first. Let's start with the good news. Walking does work at first. When most people begin walking for fat loss, a few important things happen almost immediately. You start moving more throughout the day. Your daily step count goes up. You're no longer as sedentary as you used to be. Without even realizing it, your NEAT activity, all the movement you do outside of formal exercise, increases. That extra movement creates a calorie deficit, and when that happens, walking to lose weight works. This is why walking is often recommended in the beginning. It's simple, low impact, easy to recover from, and most people can stay consistent with it. But here's the part no one really explains. What works at first doesn't always keep working forever. Why walking stops working for fat loss. Eventually, your body adapts. This is known as metabolic adaptation, and it's one of the biggest reasons people hit a fat loss plateau. In the beginning, walking feels challenging because it's new. Your body isn't used to it, so it burns a decent amount of calories. But over time, your body becomes efficient. The same walk that used to burn more calories now burns fewer. Your metabolism adjusts. Your body quietly finds ways to conserve energy. You're still walking, you're still putting in effort, but the results slow down or stop completely. This is why people say things like, "I'm walking every day, but nothing is happening anymore." It's not because walking is bad. It's because walking alone is not enough once your body adapts. Low-intensity cardio has limits. Walking falls under low-intensity cardio. And low-intensity cardio has limits. Your body is incredibly good at doing the same thing over and over while using less energy each time. That's great for survival, but not great for continued fat loss. When the pace, distance, and routine never change, your body has no reason to change either. This is why walking every day results eventually flatten out. You're staying active, which is healthy, but fat loss requires a stronger signal than that. The fat-burning zone confusion. A lot of people assume the problem is that they're not walking long enough, or that they're not staying in the so-called fat-burning zone. But that's not really the issue. The issue isn't effort. The issue is stimulus. You can walk longer and still be stuck because your metabolism has slowed, muscle mass has dropped, and your hormones are no longer responding the way they used to. This is why people get frustrated and start asking why cardio stops working, even though they're doing more of it. Walking alone doesn't tell your body it needs to change anymore. Metabolism slowdown and muscle loss. Here's something most people never connect. When walking is combined with eating very little, low protein intake, and no strength training, weight loss often comes from both fat and muscle. And muscle loss while dieting is one of the fastest ways to slow your metabolism. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. The less of it you have, the fewer calories you burn at rest. That's why some people lose weight but feel softer, weaker, or more tired. Their metabolism didn't improve, it slowed. And once that happens, fat loss becomes harder, not easier. Hormones play a role too. Fat loss isn't just about calories. Hormones matter. When walking is the only strategy being used, especially alongside aggressive calorie restriction, hormones like insulin and cortisol can start working against you. Insulin resistance can make fat storage easier. Elevated cortisol and fat loss don't mix well either. This is especially common when people walk a lot, eat very little, and never give their body a reason to build or maintain muscle. From your body's perspective, that looks like stress, not progress. The good news, you don't have to stop walking. Here's the important part. The solution is not to stop walking. Walking is still one of the best habits you can have for sustainable fat loss and long-term health. The solution is understanding what walking can't do by itself and supporting it with the right tools. So let's talk about how to fix this. Fix #1. Change the stimulus with incline or resistance. One of the easiest ways to restart fat loss is incline walking for fat loss. Adding even a slight incline changes how your muscles work, raises your heart rate, and increases calorie burn without adding joint stress. It also improves metabolic flexibility, meaning your body becomes better at switching between burning carbs and fat. The key here isn't suffering. It's giving your body a new signal. Fix #2. Strength training is not optional. This is the biggest missing piece for most people. The conversation shouldn't be walking versus strength training. You need both. Strength training for fat loss helps preserve muscle, keeps your metabolism from slowing down, improves insulin sensitivity, and increases how many calories you burn at rest. Muscle acts like metabolic insurance. Without it, fat loss gets harder every year. With it, your body becomes easier to lean out, even without extreme cardio. Fix #3. Use progression, even with walking. Your body needs progression to change. That doesn't mean pushing harder every single day. It means avoiding autopilot. Progressive overload can be simple. A slightly higher incline, a faster pace for short intervals, light resistance like a weighted vest, mixing in hills or varied terrain. Progression tells your body it still needs to adapt. Fix #4. Walk after meals. One of the most underrated strategies for fat loss is walking after meals. Short walks after eating help lower blood sugar, improve insulin sensitivity, and reduce how much energy gets stored as fat. These don't need to be long or intense, just intentional. Timing matters more than duration here. Fix #5. Protein supports fat loss. Walking alone breaks down quickly when protein intake is too low. Protein for fat loss helps preserve muscle, control hunger, support hormones, and prevent metabolic slowdown. Without enough protein, your body has no reason to hold on to muscle, and fat loss stalls. A quick word on fasted walking. Fasted walking can be useful in the right context, but it's not magic. It works best when stress is low, protein intake is adequate, and strength training is already part of your routine. Without those things, fasted walking can increase cortisol and work against fat loss. Context always matters. What this really means for you. If you're walking consistently and not losing fat, you're not doing anything wrong. Your body just adapted. And adaptation is normal. This is why walking alone stops working, not because walking is bad, but because your body needs more than one signal to continue changing. Quick recap. Walking stops working because metabolic adaptation kicks in. Low-intensity cardio plateaus. Muscle loss slows metabolism. Hormones stop cooperating. You fix it by adding incline or resistance, strength training consistently, eating enough protein, using walking strategically. That's how you break a fat loss plateau. Walking is still one of the best habits you can build. But fat loss doesn't come from doing more of one thing. It comes from building a system that works with your body instead of fighting against it. If this video helped you understand why walking alone stops working for fat loss, make sure to like it and subscribe. And in the next video, we're going to talk about why consistency matters more than intensity for long-term fat loss, and why most people get that completely backwards.